93, Saurabh J. Mehta, Manisha Laukamal, and additional advocate.
This is the Ashram Shala matter. If my lords recollect, my lords' last order enumerates the decision of that committee, a detailed committee headed by the principal secretary and all the other concerned officers, and the recommendations thereafter. So, the order passed by the Honorable Court records that what further steps you propose to take, and it was submitted on the last occasion that we shall be forwarding this to the state government. The state government, has examined this in consultation with all the departments, has accepted the report in total. So therefore now, for all, there'll be a bifurcation. These ashram shalas, one of the concern was that you have teachers who will be working as wardens, etc. Now we will have all these teachers being recruited under the norms of the RT Act, manned by the education department. So there will be uniformity. This is exactly what had fallen from the Honorable Court, that if you have for the other government schools and other institutions, grant-in-aid institutions, the education department looking into it, here you have the social justice and empowerment department, you have the tribal department, and how are you meeting with the RT norms? Therefore, this whole responsibility is now given over, to the education department. Now, recruitment rules, I believe, I'm told recruitment rules are ready. We will soon be notifying them. We will now have rationalization of the number of teachers required under the RT Act, number of students, etc. Considering all of that, we will now go in for recruitment. So far as wardens is concerned also, it will be a completely different setup. Which had fallen from the Honorable Court. That if you are teaching also, if you're looking after the hostels also, ashram shalas are very peculiar when you impart education during the day hours, which would include sports and other activities, and they are also residing there. But there is also higher attrition rate because culturally in Gujarat, parents are happier to have the children closer to home. So the moment you have a government school or something closer to your vicinity, you get the children to move from ashram shalas into government. So therefore, this study is also carried out, that in the vicinity, how many other government schools, my lords also wanted that you study appraise yourself of how many students are there, the whole establishment you created. Why are there students leaving, how many teachers, non-teaching staff, RT Act, all these overall aspects.
And the dropout rates.
Why? So in the earlier affidavit, we had pointed out that culturally in Gujarat, we always prefer students to be home and closer to home. As government college schools coming up, grant-in-aid schools coming up, closer, the students are moving to these and they are obtaining leaving certificate.
Then you will be getting new students.
New students?
There is
no dearth of it, yes. And therefore, my lords wanted us to be completely RTE compliant.
Then for these schools, you are targeting a group, marginalized people.
Yes.
And they do not have so much of resources.
Correct.
They would want their children to go in a hostel-like situation where there is a good quality of education and status of living.
Yes.
But if you're not providing good quality of education and you are not providing a good quality of living conditions, then why would somebody come in? So this saying this that we have opened new schools and grant-in-aid schools are coming up. So there is a drop rate. I think this is an
no. There are other aspects to it also.
This is an illusion.
In any case, today, the whole
just to convince yourself that we are doing the best. But the fact is,
not for a moment,
is that because of the condition of the school, the way you were running it, there was bound to be dropouts. Like whosoever gets a little bit money or who's aware after some education, it will leave you. Why would they remain when there is one teacher, two teacher, 10 students of different classes sitting in one class? Who will come to your school?
Anyway, so
this whole setup was an illusion.
So the whole setup was required to be revisited. The setup was revisited. Number of recommendations, there were 14 or 15 recommendations. No, not closing at all. We do need to improve ourselves. We are looking in a wholesome manner to ensure.
If you start with this
No, it cannot.
convincing power and convincing argument that, look, there are schools are increasing in numbers, so people are moving because in Gujarat, people want to keep their
We
children
do
with
need
them.
Milord to upper
It's
ranking.
everywhere. Everywhere people want to keep their children with them, but they will send you if you provide good infrastructure. And then you are talking about those, you are catering to those who are marginalized sections of the society, who do not have even resources to hire a rickshaw to send their children to school, who do not have resources to buy a uniform of a normal school, who do not have resources to buy books, and even if you are given free education, then they need to spend money to send their children to school. Like, it's not zero investment. Even if the schools are not government schools, no fees, nothing. They get sometimes books also, but they need other expenses. For sending a child to school, there are expenses. They are bound to occur. So for those people, if you are giving this kind of education and they know that if my child is studying in this school, he will get an environment which is conducive to education, to wholesome upbringing of my children, they will send. And then you will get IS and IPS and engineers and scientists from those institutions. So why can't that be?
Of course,
Why
it
can't it be possible?
my lords are absolutely right.
This is not
Can be and should be.
task.
Yes, that is our aim. So, my lord, at present, the state
Mahadev,
government has
Mahadev.
accepted all the recommendations. We will move forward from here. Periodically, once again, give the
Accumulation of wealth in our country that actually people, like a large section of people even don't get opportunity to even go to a proper school, which is like,
which is really sad. So, with my lord's intervention,
only
have-
thing our state can do is to improve the educational standard and everything will be improved automatically.
correct.
You
So,
give education to people, your entire society will improve.
and keeping exactly that in mind, my lord, we've ensured that now everybody will get a level.
How much time do you need to complete it?
My lord, would my lords give me 3 to 4 weeks more to come up with the next?
Mahadev,
steps we
Mahadev.
Done so far.
So, Milord, so far the report of the committee, which has made those recommendations, has been accepted by the state government. Milord, it has been accepted. We are now moving forward with the recruitment rules and we will be
Give
rational.
a legal structure to the.
We'll give a legal structure.
Arts scholars
Yes,
to improve the infrastructure,
correct,
both in terms of building and manpower.
correct.
Correct.
Teaching and non-teaching both.
The manpower
Yes.
and then bring it to the level of compliance of RTL.
In most of the schools, there are no principals at all. And on page number 1738, they have mentioned that after the working hours or daily working hours, the teachers have to carry out the other activities also.
That is what we've now segregated.
This is
Now
not-
that will not happen. That is what the honorable court noted. That will now not.
So you want 4 weeks?
Yes.
To come out with this improved infrastructure, whatever. Today is 23rd.
27.
27.
Right, please.
I'm sorry, because actually I lost.
Madam, Nisha Lakshmana, it is that with all your efforts, our state has accepted the recommendation of the committee. They are they are working out to improve the infrastructure, both in terms of building as well as manpower. They are bringing these schools under the umbrella of education department so that they can run properly. So giving a legal structure to the schools, which are known as RT and bringing them within the purview of RTA.
RTI. Please, my lords. And deeply obliged on behalf of,
We need time for the. bringing
very
of
well,
the-
Lord. Deeply obliged on behalf of, Lord, at least 10,000 employees.
Thank you.
Mithil.